Have you ever woke up in the morning and thought, I think I should shit spray my brain? Yeah, neither did I. But Isayama really fucks around with our brain and then poops on it. Attack on Titan is a very emotional story, but there are anime which are more emotional than Attack on Titan. But when it comes to hard hitting and making us depressed, Attack on Titan is quite high up there because lots of messed up shits happen. Attack on Titan is one of the most or maybe the most mainstream anime of all time except for few exceptions. Attack on Titan is kinda ruling the whole best episodes of all time in series and anime in IMDb. If you check IMDb's best episodes or highest rated episodes, the top 3 are Attack on Titan, and if you wonder why it is actually that high, well, it deserves that's why. I've been watching AOT from 2014 or 15, and when I first watched the first season, I literally wanted to eat my own cum. Okay, that's way too far. But still, that was one of my favorite animes back in the time, and it felt like a masterpiece, and it still feels like a masterpiece. But looking back now, season 1 was probably the worst season of Attack on Titan. Like, it had hype moments, it had good fights as well, but it still doesn't compare to the next seasons. Shows like Gintama, Haikyuu or Attack on Titan, it's really hard to rank episodes. There are so many great episodes in Attack on Titan that it's almost impossible to rank top 5 episodes and make everyone happy with it. That's why today I'm gonna give my opinions and my perspectives. If you disagree, that's alright, you can comment down below your favorites in the comment section below. Before we start, make sure you guys like, subscribe and comment down below your thoughts on the video, and I'm trying to hit 1000 subscribers as soon as possible so that I can go up in the community tab. Alright, now onto the list. Now I was thinking about 3 episodes on number 5. I'll say the names on the honorable mentions. It's episode 6 of the final season. It starts right after Eren's transformation and things really get fucked up. First Eren does a flip on the Marley soldiers, kills almost all the citizens, and then he breaks the rule of punching before the actual transformation ends. This is also our first time watching the Warhammer Titan and how overpowered its ability is. We could actually see how much Eren has changed from season 1, and that's peak character development. Also, Mikasa makes a badass entrance, shooting 8 thunder spears to the neck of Warhammer Titan. Eren almost eats the Warhammer Titan and Galliard makes an entrance, and the episode ending by Levi fucking Jaw's jaw. If you know what I mean. Okay, I'm not doing that again. Number 4. The Day. When it comes to storytelling, this episode really opened our butt cheeks and filled with thousands of informations, and it still couldn't fit. This episode changed our whole look on the show, from battling with the Titans to the whole different shit. In this episode we got to know how Grisha came to Paradise and how Grisha suffered in Libero. We got to know that there's a bigger whole world outside the walls, and there's also other people living outside the walls who can turn into Titans. We got to see how poorly Eldians were treated by Marlians. This episode made Attack on Titan's world way more bigger than it was, though because we were seeing in Grisha's perspective. Almost everyone hated Zeke back then, but another episode changed our perspective on Zeke, but onto that later. This episode showed us the dark side of Attack on Titan which we never saw before, from Faye getting eaten alive by dogs, and everyone who were trying to do a coup against Marley gets titanized and sent to Paradise. Number 3. Perfecto game! Now the top 3 are really close, to be honest. Episode 4 of season 3 part 2. Zeke/Monkey starts throwing rocks and it's kinda fucked for the Paradise side. Then Eren gets bitch kicked by Bertolt. It kinda seems ill for Mikasa and the others. Aside from that, the main attraction of this episode is Erwin Smith and his speech. Man oh boy, Erwin. This episode was enough to make Erwin's character perfect. Erwin is my favorite character of all time in Attack on Titan and one of my favorite anime characters of all time. Anyone on the battlefield would literally want to die after Erwin's speech, and not negatively obviously. You know, his speech is mind-blowing when everyone was scared their ass off, but Erwin's speech gave them courage and the will to charge the Beast Titan. Erwin sacrificed himself because he knew that after the speech, if he doesn't charge, no one will get the courage. That's what it means to be a leader, and Erwin showed very well to the audience. That's why this is my 3rd favorite episode of Attack on Titan. Number 2. Savagery. This episode probably would have been number 1 if Wit Studio adapted it. Mappa's adaptation was very good, but when it comes to camera movement details and using actual art instead of CG, Wit Studio really shines a lot. This episode had 2 parts. Eren fucking around with Mikasa and Armin and Jokes aside, 2 part of this episode was phenomenal. First, the Eren's conversation with Armin and Mikasa was a turning point of the anime for Armin and Mikasa. Eren came up with facts to make Mikasa be less obsessed with Eren and also fucked Armin up. The next, Monkey versus Levi, round 3 or 4 or whatever the fuck. They always fight and that's what they're known for. The plot twist was something else, to be honest. Zeke turned everyone into Titan and Levi for the second time sees his whole squad get slaughtered in seconds. He also had to fight them, and while fighting, Levi saw his comrades inside the Titans. The fighting sequence to the soundtrack, voice acting, and the ending of the fight was phenomenal. Honourable Mentions: Season 2 Episode 6, Reiner and Bertolt's reveal. That shit blew up the internet. Season 2 Episode 12, Eren's retrieval arc. Season 3 Episode 7, Historia's character development and Levi vs Kenny squad. And literally every fucking episode of Season 3 Part 2. Final Season's Episode 5 where Eren declared war against Marley. Final Season's Episode 7 and 15. I was confused whether I'm gonna put Episode 6, 7 or 15 on number 5. 7 was full of action, Armin's transformation from lots of things. And Episode 15 was the second best episode when it comes to storytelling. We learned about Zeke and his motivations. This episode really took our brain out and shot some poop in it and placed it back again. One of the best flashback stories along with Kate, Sugu and other characters. Now on to the king, the number 1, the ending. Attack on Titan's ending was the best ending of all time. It puts Code Geass to shame. Just kidding. The ending was controversial, so let's leave it be. Number 1, Hero. If you've watched Attack on Titan, you were probably expecting this number 1, 2, 3 or higher in this list, and here it is on number 1. This episode was the one which blew up the most. After the heart-wrenching speech of Erwin, emotions were already in its limits. Then we get the payback at last, Zeke versus Levi. That wasn't quite a fight, that was literally a massacre on one guy. Levi literally effed the shit out of him and it felt like Zeke and also V deserved this moment. Though Zeke did run away, I mean that's alright because if he died back then it wouldn't feel proper and we wouldn't have known anything about him either. After the whole Levi vs Beast Titan thing, we moved on to the other side of the world where there were also great moments. Mikasa, John, Sasha, Connie and Hanji vs Reiner and Armin and Eren vs the Colossal Titan. Hanji came in the last and saved the day. Mikasa's dodge from Reiner's hand and last but not least Armin's heroic sacrifice. Who would have imagined the crybaby Armin who had brain only one day would make a plan that he himself sacrifices himself. After Armin's sacrifice, Eren pulls out Bertolt and a phenomenal episode ending. If you've watched until this point, then you can probably tell I love Season 3 Part 2 more than the final season. The final season changed the whole show for forever, but Season 3 Part 2 was something else to be honest. From the god tier animation to the mysterious back in the days, revealing an Erwin being alive and seeing his end. But that's just my preference of course. This was my top 5 episodes of Attack on Titan. Let me know what your favorite episodes of Attack on Titan is. This list will completely change after the final season part 2 because I think at least 2 or 3 episodes are gonna enter this list of top 5 because I've read the manga and I have high expectations from MAPPA and their animation because they're taking the time. Attack on Titan has changed a lot from season 1 and got a lot of popularity and people say it's overrated and it's your preference what you think, but I think it deserves the hype because it's that much good. Being a fan for 6 or 7 years and seeing its conclusion, it really feels good because we're seeing a masterpiece coming to an end. History is being made by Attack on Titan. We should be glad because we're seeing it. Histories like these will only happen when like One Piece ends and also now Attack on Titan is ending. And this is also a legendary moment and we should be proud to be an otaku. Let me know what your favorite Attack on Titan episodes are, and as always don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below your thoughts about the video. It's been Veeb Nakama. See you on the next video.